Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk with Carrie Jemii. It is that Tuesday. So if you've noticed, I'm not on here every Tuesday. I wasn't here last week. So I decided this year to just come every other Tuesday. So I'll be back on the 25th. But today I am here and excited to share the stage with my guest. He said I'm one of his favorite podcasters. He's one of my favorite podcasters as well. And we're going to be talking about some things dealing with health and supplements. And he is a very smart person when it comes to this. So if you have any questions, get him ready, get him geared up. I'm pretty sure he can attack all of them. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Cody Kelly. Hi, Cody. How are you?
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. And super excited to be back on this amazing platform, this amazing show. Let's Talk with Carrie. Thank you for allowing me to be a guest.
Awesome. So I was just prepping everybody, letting them know today we're going to be talking about health and supplements and why is that important. But before we dive into it really quickly, I just want people to know a little bit about you and why we keep having each other on each other's shows. But you have a show called It Is What It Is podcast. And I meant to ask you this the last time I had you on the show. What did you get that title from? It's kind of controversial too, but what made you go with that whole idea?
So it was birthed out of I won't say pain, but I'll say it was birthed out of a setback. When I was with a former company who shall not be named, I started a podcast there, which was actually what they wanted. They was like, well, we got to find a way to increase our brand and get into this next level, marketing and really be nuanced in the space. And I was like, what we need is, a podcast or something we could put on YouTube. We could create viewership, subscriptions, sell the product without selling the product and just kind of do the heavy, lifting for us. And everybody was on board. And so I did it. And now, to my fault, maybe I did not go through the right channels, but I did it. That's what they said. Let's do it. And nobody was doing anything. So I did it. And it started to gain success. I had another podcast that should not be named because I had to take it down. So it was an internal kind of whatever. And I learned my lesson. So when I started this new podcast, I was like, look, this is my stuff. This has nothing to do with anybody I've worked for, past, present, or current, something that I really wanted to promote, things I really wanted to talk about. And it is what it is, just kind of, birthed itself. Cause I was like, well, what do I talk about? And I was like, well, I've experienced some things. I have a few insights. I didn't want to create a platform of just yelling. And what I see a lot now is toxicity sales, and I'm not toxic. I don't believe in toxicity. I don't believe in being an aloof either, right? Like I don't just walk around and just like, oh, everything is awesome like the Lego movie. But I do try to just be honest and have these engaging conversations in a matter of different subjects. So it is what it is, just kind of birthed out of that. So that's kind of how I came up with the name.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, yeah, I love it. It is what it is. And I love being on your platform. You always have so interesting topics. I'm like, where did he get this stuff from? Like I said, I feel like you're a little genius somewhere, it's really smart guy. But with that said, I know we follow each other on IG, and I saw that you started this whole journey of exercising and health. And then all of a sudden I saw these supplements pop up, and I'm like, what is this? So it seems that you created your own supplement. CVMK Global, be your own hero. So that's why you're here today, is to talk about your supplements and what all went into that. And I have a few questions with it, but we'll just start off with, what inspired you to create your own supplement?
So a lot of it is upbringing. So, growing up in the church, health was not a priority. And truth be told, it's still not a priority. And I saw people of faith, people that love the Lord on their way to heaven, all this anointing, die and be disabled and harmed from diseases that a proper diet and a treadmill could cure. And I thought that there was a disconnect. And I said, man, it's crazy. You can have power to tread on scorpions, but, get your foot chopped off because you can't, control your BMI. And it was really bothering me because I was like, two things can't be true, right? Like, but in life it is, right? So, and then being a type 1 diabetic, like I don't want to be hindered by this disease, right? Like, I have to, it's a priority for me. I want to live a long life as long as the Lord allows me. I want to be of sound mind and of able body. I don't want to be confined to anything. And I was searching for products that could work for my immune system, work for the disease I have, and not do any harm, and really just kind of optimize. Because I think you have to be honest with yourself and where you're at, right? And then I was getting older, and then I realized I wasn't 18 anymore, and the metabolism was different. I wasn't 21. All of a sudden, food was starting to really stick with me. So about after 2017, I had my back surgery. I really began this fitness journey, and it was like every year I was adding something. It was, be consistent. The first time it was like get to 3 days working out per week. Then it was like get to 4. Then it was like get to 5. Then it was like change the diet. It was like every year I just started adding something or tweak something, and then I started to really garner success. And then I started to realize, all this money I'm investing in this, I want other people to share in this journey. And then I started to look around. I was like, every time I go to GNC or if I go to Amazon and I order, I didn't see any product that looked like me. I see us being sponsored by it, but not owning it. And, like what brand, and outside maybe of a couple, maybe like, a couple names that are really high up there. But for the most part, you see them just sponsored by, a brand, right? And you'll see the little code, use my name to get 20% off. And that's a way to let you know they're sponsored. They don't actually own it. Right. So I was like, look, I can create this, so my wife and I, we invested. I was like, we took our Christmas money and, and we invested in this thing and in this basically life ecosystem. And, came up with some cool products. I have 6 out right now. I have my pre-workout, which is Superpower. I got Arrhythmia. I got my my vegan protein, both flavors, chocolate and vanilla Transform. I have the BCAA Saucy. I have the women's formula, Glow Up, and I have the men's formula, Batter Up. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring a product that is used, that other niches, other demographics are very aware of, and they're not afraid to have this conversation. And I wanted to introduce it to a space that was foreign, right? Because the reality is when you think of people in faith and you think of preachers specifically, there's only really 2 body types that preachers can have. And I was like, well, I don't fit any of them, like I'm not, what I'm saying? And there's no shot.
Right.
There's a fact. Like, I got deltoids, I got chest. I was like, so where do I fit? Right. So you got to see yourself. And I believe representation is huge. So I'm super excited about this brand. I'm super excited. I believe in it. It's safe, it's effective, it's steroid free. And that's kind of how we came up with it.
Okay. So you guys, so you said you came up with it with your wife. So I should have had her on the show too. Is April there? Is she ready?
Is she ready to be on? She'll be on the next one.
I didn't know. I would have brought her on too. That would have been great to have both of you guys' perspective on creating this. Because, I talked about that, I think last year, how to create businesses with your spouse and family and the importance of that. Because now this is something that you guys could pass down to your kids and everything like that. And your other family is legacy. So that's so awesome. So with that said, I don't want to hold you all night. I know you have some other obligations. But so I just want to, so you told me what inspired you to create this, and you said you didn't see anything like that out there. So I just want you to go step by step through each product, and what each product is used for, basically its purpose, and why it's important for people to purchase it, for what reasons, because, people get confused. I go into GNC, it's just like, it's so many different things. It's so many things you don't even know where to start. So just kind of, guide us a little bit with your products and where to start.
Perfect. Well, let's dismiss some rumors. So first of all, a supplement is not a steroid, right? So let's start there, because there's a lot of misinformation out there And what happens is when people think supplements, they're saying, well, I don't want to get big and bulky. First of all, if you say you don't want to get big and bulky, you've already telling on yourself that you don't work out. Even if you were on steroids, it takes years to look like the stuff you see, right? Like that's not an overnight transformation. If you drink coffee, if you drink tea, if you take vitamins, if you eat any processed food, if you drink Gatorade, if you drink Powerade, if you drink any electrolyte, if you feed your baby Pedialyte, that's all called a supplement. It is taken from an organic source and synthesized into a way that is easily consumed. Hence the word supplement is only supposed to be an add-on to dietary needs. So let's dismiss that so you can kill the fear, the phobia of what a supplement does and what it does not. Now there are levels to this. I will admit there are different grades, pharmaceutical grades, or technically it's called pseudo pharmaceutical grades. That's getting off into the weeds, but we'll speak for this for like the pre-workout. So it's not supposed to replace your system. You're supposed to already have a diet that you follow. And what I mean by that, like a lifestyle of clean eating, something that's going to optimize your body and your nutrition. What the pre-workout does is say, hey, look, you're a fully functioning adult, right? You probably go to work because you have to pay bills, you have to feed yourself. You probably have obligations outside of work. It's hard to do all that and have the energy to possess to work out, right? So a pre-workout, instead of going to Starbucks right before work, you wake up early, you eat your first meal, or if you're trying to cut weight and really cut it fast, you do a fasted workout. You take the pre-workout. It has the same amount of milligrams of caffeine that you would get if you got a grande mocha, double shot of espresso from Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or wherever you go to consume your caffeine, or if you just drink 2 Pepsis, right? So it's like, yeah, right. So you're already doing that. You're already taking the caffeine consumption and just reshuttling it. And it's a cheaper option. And because the pre-workout is packed with vitamins, the food that you have already in your system now gets utilized for fuel. One of the ingredients of my pre-workout is called Dynamine. And basically what it does, it helps you lean out. So it takes the stubborn fat, it takes the food, it takes your macronutrients and utilizes all that so you can have the body that you want. It helps you be able to perform, get through the workout, because working out is exhausting, especially if you go before work, you're waking up early, hey, that 5, 6, 4 a.m., however you do it, that's an early wake-up call, right? Where you can still get another hour or two of sleep. Or if you're going after work and you're burnt out, you fought, COVID, so nobody's fighting traffic hardly, but whatever and however you're dealing with a baby, you just don't have the energy. That's what it's designed for. It's hence the word sup. It's supposed to add on to what you already have established. One scoop and you're done. So you don't even need caffeine. So, going, your lunch run, your coffee lunch run, all that is taken care of.
So it's going to sustain you.
And it's going to sustain you. Yeah. So, and you're already good. It has the
you don't have
C
that, what you call it, when you drink caffeine, some products that have you have that
rush.
Drop. Yeah. And then you just
drop. No. So it's capped at 225. So I would say anything below, especially for a starter, you shouldn't be taking anything above 250 to 300 milligrams of caffeine. So no, it's below that. You're not going to have that feeling of jitter and literally because you're consuming a lot of water, and it's going to force you to formulate good habits. Right now, if you take this and they say, I'm taking tea and OJ and all this other stuff throughout the day, then you might, create stomach issues because it's supposed to be flushed out in your system, right? It has all your vitamins for the day. It has a system. So basically you can just operate optimally. And that's what it's designed for. So you take that, you get through your workout. Then I have Saucy. Saucy is a branched chain amino acid.
Let's see it.
Let's see, but I do not have Saucy with me. I have my 2 over here. Saucy, my bad. I'll have Saucy on the next one. But Saucy is my branched chain amino acid. So Saucy is cool. You can add it intra workout, which just means during. So like, let's say you're in the gym for an hour and a half. Let's say at the 45-minute marker, you're tired, you're exhausted. You just need something to push through it. It helps with muscular endurance, right? So if you're doing long distance, if you're doing, intense cardio, HIIT training, things of that nature, you don't have to, right? You have to formulate a stack that works for you. And it depends. If you're only working out an hour, you don't really need it, right? These are more for your more prolonged workouts right? Or you're running outside, things of that nature. So you
Mm.
have saucy. The recovering agent post is transformed. You can get it either in chocolate or vanilla. It is a vegan protein, so it doesn't have the effects of whey. I like whey. I think
Oh,
everybody,
okay.
but if you have
Yeah.
digestive issues, right, vegan is
Hmm.
just a healthier alternative source. And if you're like me and you follow the word Genesis 129, God really didn't create us to consume meat. But you don't have to, that's just throwing
Oh,
it
so
out
I
there.
didn't know you're vegan. Are you vegan completely?
Not really. I mean, that's like a lifestyle. Like if you say that to
Okay.
somebody who's truly vegan, they'll get offended, right? So
Okay.
like, but I do try to eat a plant-based diet. Like most of my
Okay.
food is plant-based.
Okay.
So this plant-based protein, it
Can
has
you make
MCT.
pancakes with yours? You know
You
how people.
can, you
Okay.
can. I used to do it. I don't now. I just drink it. Like now, I don't even try to do all the creative, cool recipes. I'm just like whatever.
Okay.
Like I've given up on taste. But you can add it to your pancakes if you would like. It has the MCT oil in it, so it helps you stay fuller
Oh
longer.
wow.
It has
Yeah.
the antioxidants blend. So if you're talking about the minerals and the juices and the acai berry and the goji berries and all the little cool stuff, it has all that. So if you're looking to lean out, reduce belly fat, right? Create transformation within your body. This is how you do it. 1 scoop in water. I do 2 scoops because I'm still trying to add muscle mass. But one
Okay.
scoop per day in water, or you could do two, twice a day, but no more than 2 scoops a day, right? Water,
I'm
almond
glad
milk,
you, yeah,
however you want
and
to
I'm
add it.
glad you mentioned the muscle mass because
Yeah,
what I've learned that people don't know a lot is that the more muscle you have, the more fat you burn because your
right.
muscle burns fat. And people think, oh, I'm getting muscle, like you said, being muscular, but it takes for a long journey and a super dedicated journey to look like a bodybuilder if you want to look like that. But that's not an easy thing to achieve.
Right.
But women need to know that you have to build your muscle in your body in order to lean out and to burn a lot of more fat. And so you can't be scared to take supplements like this or even,
Right.
weight train because it helps you get to those goals faster.
Mhm.
And that's just knowledge. I just learned that from talking to different people and obviously learning it today that, nutrition is important to help you reach your goals. So, and
No,
building
that's true.
muscle. Yeah.
And here's something I think women especially should not fear muscle because it takes so long, it takes so much to really add it. Like if
Mhm.
you went to the gym and you did one effective workout, you're not like the next day is gonna look like you did not like the muscle first has
Right.
to break down and then it has to repair itself. And it had like there's a process called MPS. It takes so much to really see it start coming through. And that's really a
Yeah.
reduction of body fat, not just an increase in mass. The other thing is the body is one, and men and women both have this trouble. They start neglecting certain body parts. So with men, you'll hear a conversation. I just want bigger arms, bigger chest, flat stomach, and it's like it doesn't work like that. You got to work your legs because the majority of your muscles are actually below the abdominal area. So not working your legs is like neglecting 2/3 of your body.
Mm.
If you want a bigger chest, you got to have a more defined back. You want better shoulders. Like all this stuff is connected, right? So
Mhm.
you have to treat the body as one. And I think that's why, and I'm not a trainer, I think that's why it's important to get with a trainer, get with somebody who's actually certified in this, that can actually help you get comfortable and develop a program that you can follow because everybody's body is different. The second thing
Right.
is a woman has to, well, not just a woman, a man, but there are different body types and different body goals. Right. So you can be extremely, like they have different, categories of bodybuilding, like classic men's
Yeah.
physique. As a woman, like, you can still have a very feminine look and be really
Mhm.
developed and be really like Serena Williams has a very beautiful feminine look, but she's chiseled. But if you really meet her, I guarantee you she's leaner than what you think. On
Mhm.
TV and camera, like with
They
certain
heighten
angles.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, like even when I'm doing my little like videos and stuff, I mean, there's certain, I mean, it's me, but I mean, there's filters, there's things that
Yeah.
make you almost bigger. And you see, and I'm still nice, but I'm not, as I'm
Mhm.
still more lean. So you start
Right.
realizing that you're not going to destroy this physique. What you see, like in a lot of contests and stuff like that, and especially if it's not natural, first of all, it's their choice. And I'm not for nor am I against steroids. But that's a choice. A lot of them go down to look like that, right? And there's
Mhm.
years of use of adaptogen hormones to, manipulate the physique to look like that. That's not an overnight transformation. And that's something I don't subscribe to, but you can, and I'm not necessarily against it because I know, individuals that do, but you can have the body you want regardless of the age. There's women who are in their 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s that, have adopted this bodybuilder lifestyle and they look fantastic. Like the body looks younger. There's men so this idea that because I've hit a certain age, I gotta look like my parents is a lie. It's a lie. Like I'm not gonna look
better.
Right. I'm not gonna look like my dad did at this age. Like, if you saw a picture of him and we're relatively around the same age, completely different physiques, So, that's, I think, in somebody's journey, there has to be an internal decision of, am I happy? And this is really why, the hashtag and the brand's motto is be your own hero. I want people to be happy with themselves. I mean, genuinely happy. Like I look in the mirror and I like what I see. I'm not trying to get angles. I'm not. No, I'm being honest with you. I can tell. I'm like, now you see me. It's a straight frontal pick because when you get to that point, you no longer have to hide. Like now it's like, okay, I'm really satisfied in this, right? So that's why I believe in everybody. I believe everybody has the power to really have the physique and have the life that they want to have. And it's going to take time. And that's why these supplements are needed because a lot of times people just quit. They get discouraged and they quit. But if you have these things and you see the results faster, you'll stay with it.
Yeah. So you have two other things that I know you probably don't want to talk about them in detail, but you have the batter up and the glow up.
Yes.
And so I know these are not necessarily for working out as per se, but they are great supplements for different things. So,
so I have a product review. I'm not going to name the person that said it, but Batter Up has been a blessing to him and his wife from my product review. So Batter Up, I created Batter Up because, I'm older, and as men, I think we have to stop being afraid of certain conversations. And one of the things that we're afraid of is our health in every aspect, whether it's mental health, financial health, physical health, whatever. And then we got to understand, if there's something off physically, it affects all of your body. The body doesn't just, this works and this doesn't work. Like, no, you're red, flashing in every area. And a lot of times with men, particularly when they get over, 35, 40, they start having, sexual health issues, erectile dysfunction and things of that nature. Right. And this is a normal conversation that nobody should be ashamed of. Nobody should feel small. Pardon the pun. That didn't work right in my head, but nobody should feel isolated and neglected and like they're a special case. It is normal. And this is something that, I want to create because, and this is something I'm really, focusing on because we're dealing with ailments and, whether people would like to admit it or not, these things are an issue, right? If you have high blood pressure, it is affecting. I don't have it, but if you have it, it is affecting your sexual health. It is affecting your sexual performance.
Right there. So the supplement, you can take it because I know a lot of drugs interact with different things. So did you make it where it's something that if you are a diabetic or you do have high blood pressure or other things, you can still take this particular supplement?
So if you have been officially diagnosed with a disease, before you take anything, you should consult with your physician.
Doctor.
That is the ultimate thing. So my doctor knows everything I take. All my doctors know everything I take. I was at the doctor today. So there's no guesswork. That's the safest way and the medically correct way.
Okay.
Supplements are made out of natural ingredients. So there's no hormones in them. So they're not going to throw off anything. But I will say this, everybody's body is different, and how, depending on where you are, where your health is, how far the condition or disease has progressed, you need to consult a physician. So before you do any of that, consult a physician. What Batter Up is for those men that have not progressed that far, right? And they're still within, I would say, savings without any real medical extreme measure to really kind of get back on track and to have the energy, the libido energy to do things. And, and a lot of that is just, dietary things as well, right? So that's what it's designed for. And then Glow Up is the exact opposite. It's the female enhancement hormone, not hormone, but a female enhancement optimization formula that is for that, because as you age, let's be honest, after 21, testosterone levels in men drop 2% annually. HGH levels, I think is 3 to 5%. So whatever your age is, you subtract it by 21 and times it by 2. That's where you are in a percentage wise of compared to where you were. That has to be a real talk. How do we get those levels up naturally? Well, we get it up through diet, through exercise, through things to help optimize our natural body responses. What it is not, and here's why I said it is not a steroid, it is not a hormone. It is not something that is synthetically placed inside of you to replace what will be known as hormone replacement therapy, HRT. So it's not that. It is safe. It is designed just to create optimal levels for you so that you can be your own hero. But that's the goal. And that's where everybody's mind should be. And I will say this, when somebody walks in a GNC, the first question is, am I healthy enough to exercise? If you've not been to a doctor, then walk out of GNC, walk out of any gym until your doctor says you're okay to go, don't go. Once you get the green light from your doctor, have an honest conversation about where you are in life and where you want to be. What does that physique look like? What does those goals look like? And then 3, are you really going to commit to it? Are you going to commit to the training? Are you going to commit to the discipline? You could stay up and watch Bridgerton. You could stay up and watch all the Netflix stuff, or you can go to bed early and get to the gym early, right? Which one are you going to choose? Because all that is going to affect your performance. And can you stay consistent? And then will you supply yourself with the right elements so that you can really optimize and get there faster? And that's what it's designed to do.
Okay. Wow, that's awesome. Really quickly, are those 2 pills, like supplements, that in the pill form, or are they powders as well?
So Glow Up and Batter Up are pill form, but they're in the veggie caps, so easy to swallow. And the powder is Superpower, Beat, and Saucy and Transform. That's powder.
Okay. All right. So just a few questions here. Why do you think that supplements are important? I know you talked a lot about each one and different things, but can a person really succeed at a good workout or achieving their health goals without adding supplements to their regimen?
The answer is yes, but it's yes only if these things are in line. If you can get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day, which I don't know any functioning adult that does that. If you can have all your meals either catered or prepared in a way that you get your macro and micronutrients, so your amount of grams of protein, the amount of grams of carbs, the vegetables, the vitamins in the celery and all your green substances so that you can get enough of your RDI. If you can keep your stress levels down, so because that can rise or raise cortisol within the body. And if you can get to the gym without any, what I would say, emotional distress, that can be easily caused by just like weather, right? Like nobody wants to work out in January, especially if you live in Chicago. I mean, you live in Atlanta, so that's a little cooler thing, but if you live in Chicago and you have a freezer, a winter weather advisory out that is supposed to be -10 out, you don't want to go to the gym on that day, right? So yeah, so if you can do all these things and, have access to all this and get the 7 to 8 hours of sleep a day, then yes, you won't need it. But
that's why I guess it's called supplement, because it's helping you supplement something that you're not doing that you should be doing probably or more of. Okay.
And let's be honest with you, like who has that? And like if the goal was to get to I told one of my friends, I said, write down what you eat every day and be honest with you. How many grams of protein do you think you're getting a day? Like most Americans, I would say get anywhere between 70 to 120. But if you're a male over 6 feet, and let's say you want to be at, 190, 200, you have to get to 200 grams of protein a day, which means you still missed your mark, even with a Big Mac, right? You still missed it by 90 grams, right? So, I mean, like, nobody has all those things in line. And that's what the supplement is there, because life is what it is, and you still have to perform, and you still got to go and get it.
Yep. This is true. I think you kind of hit on this a little bit,
Sure.
but is it true that if I take supplements that I can replace some of my daily vitamins too because they're already in it?
Depending on the supplement. So like with super, so it has vitamin B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C. And it has like vitamin C has like 278%. So yes, you can in that instant. And every supplement is not the same, so you really have to pay attention to the ingredients on the back. But if your diet is correct and then you add the supplements, there would be no need to take like a multivitamin. Now, if your doctor, once you do that and you add the supplements, your doctor still says you're deficient in something, and that's why I said, depending on what your doctor says, that's the first advice you go with. That's the first and the last, right? So if you're not deficient, if you're not lacking something that needs to be prescribed, then the answer to that is yes, because the supplement is only going to be an add-on to the diet you already have. Now, if your diet is not consistent and you're taking supplements, then you'll probably still need vitamins because you haven't tweaked the diet enough so that you can consume what you need to consume via food, right? Okay. So it's all going to boil down to, and I say this, most of it is your diet. Once your diet gets in check, your body will now start forming an ecosystem. Everything else is how you amplify the results. Most people, unfortunately, never, and nobody's diet is perfect. Like, every Friday I have, a serious cheat meal. Like my cheat meal is ridiculous. I love potato chips, but I only eat it on Friday. Like, and at dinner, I get to have my potato chip bag, and it's a bag like this big. And I kill it, but I've earned it, right? So
just a little bit on that before you go there, because you said something that sparked a question. You said an ecosystem that you create based on your diet. So I know, like you said, it's no perfect diet, but since you're on the show, and I did this health series last January, and people talked about different type of diets. So from your perspective, since you obviously are gaining results from what you're doing, what kind of diet or lifestyle do you think people should lean towards that you're doing, or what does your diet look like basically to help
so
people?
I don't endorse one diet over another. I used to really push plant-based lifestyle, veganism hard. I don't as much because I've fallen back in love with chicken. I don't eat like fried chicken or whatnot, but my wife's cooks are like all my chicken is baked and whatnot, and I can't say no to salmon. Matter of fact, I got a thing of salmon sitting over there in the skillet. So this is what I eat every day, except for Friday night, where I have my bag of potato chips and probably Chinese food because I'm addicted to it. Monday through Thursday is like this. Meal 1, 4:00 in the morning, oatmeal with granola add-in for the more protein, and water. I don't even put in almond milk. I'm a little ghetto, So I add water. I cut down on the calories, and an apple. So I have three sources of carbs. I'm probably at 100 grams of carbs because I know, like today, was shoulder day, so I ate that. I know I'm gonna run right after that, right? So I do cardio like every day, but every day is not the same, right? So on days that I lift heavy, I only run a mile. So I did my mile, whatever, had the energy to do it. Then I took my pre-workout because I know I'm about to go into a heavy lifting. So my body's switching from a catabolic state to an anabolic state. Come back, the second meal, right, which is usually somebody's breakfast. Mine's is now eggs, potatoes. I have like little pre-made things. So, and there's not like butter add on and all that stuff. No, this is like just as raw as you can get. And then my protein shake. So that's meal 2. Meal 3 is a bowl full of vegetables, broccoli, zucchini, lentils, quinoa, simple grains, anything green or brown. I don't add like cheese, peanut butter. I just eat it. Like you get to a point, you just eat it. It's not always the best tasting stuff, but it works. Meal 4, which is my but last scoop I would say of protein is usually salmon, it's chicken, is white rice. It's not
Okay.
white rice filled with maple
Sugar.
syrup. Yeah, it's not. It's not a. It's not a souffle. It's not terrible. It's just regular white rice. Most times it's jasmine rice. I have my thing of salmon, and then I'll have my protein shake after that. And then that's how I get to the 200 grams a day. I have my vegetables already, and I've had water throughout the day. The only time I've consumed juice was once in the morning for breakfast. So,
Okay.
there's still variation, but if you
Yeah.
can get consistent, your diet doesn't have to, your eating habits don't have to suck, but you do have to switch your mind from eating from taste to eating for performance and lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And when
that's
you get to
good.
the
That's
point,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
you get to the point like I don't care what it tastes like, I'll
Yeah.
just do it. After a
Yep.
while,
Mm.
you'll look up and it's like, and it's worth it. It is, and then here's the thing too, when you do it, the body is going to force yourself to continue. If you throw something in there that is so way off, like if you just add like, oh man, I just want like Ritz crackers, I got a taste for, body's not gonna care. But if you throw something like, and I don't want to get super
Fried
funny, fast
chicken
food,
and
yeah,
yeah,
like let's say like
you'll
Taco
feel it.
Bell. No
Yeah.
offense,
Mhm.
Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. I just don't eat it.
Yeah.
But let's say you add Taco Bell, your body's gonna naturally reject it. You're gonna get sick, like because then it's like
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
can't go from broccoli and zucchini to Taco Bell. It doesn't work like that, right?
Right.
So that's what it's about. It's
And I
about
just want to say, because people are commenting, when I say diet, I'm not saying, like my sister said, not a diet, but healthy living. When I say diet, I'm just saying what you eat. I'm not saying diet is the word itself can be used in various ways,
sure.
but I'm not saying diet like a Weight Watchers diet, even though they say that's not a diet. But just
Yeah,
I'm saying what you're eating, like you said, eating habits is what your diet is what
yeah,
you eat is your diet. Whether that's your diet is McDonald's or your diet is broccoli, is still the word diet. So that's what
right.
I meant by saying that, you guys. I don't want people to think I'm talking about, something restrictful. But with your eating habits, what you described, that's for someone who's trying to basically kind of bulk up and sound like too. It doesn't sound like someone who's trying to actually lose weight per se, but
Right.
yours sound like it's to gain, some mass.
It's again a little bit more mass. If you
Yeah.
wanted to really shred up, I mean, I could eliminate, my pre-workout meal. The only problem is when you start adding vegetables, you gotta understand the calorie count in vegetables is low. When you
Yeah.
start adding everything, or even if you do add a meat, but it's not fried and all that, you're talking about meals now that are under 400, under 300, under 200. You don't want to become depleted. And so a lot of times people crash on these, extreme diets because I'm trying to lose weight. So they, barely eat and then they don't have energy to work out and then they, get irritable and they don't want to continue. You can actually, and this is what people who are in a fitness realize, you can gain weight and lose body fat. So you can actually increase on the scale and actually have abs. And this is why you should not live your life by the scale. The scale is a demon. It is a false narrative because your weight is not going to determine the real health of your body. If you start replacing and you say, okay, well, I'm two whatever, but if that two switches to more muscle than fat, you'll see a reduction in waist size. You'll see this and you'll see that. So it's really a matter of what do I want my physique to look like? And that's why I said, and I've told my friends this, the first thing you do after you get the green light for the doctor, what is your vision for your body? And be honest, if you want your body to look like Serena, there's a certain way you have to eat and train. If you want your body to look like Beyonce, there's a certain way you have to eat and train. I'm sure Beyonce has her own workout regimen,
Mhm.
so that's going to be a conversation you have to have. And then you have to find a trainer that can create a program so that you can have those results, especially if you're not used to the environment, you're used to the exercises, you're not used to the equipment. So all that really plays a part into where you go.
Okay, awesome. Well, I am definitely going to order this. While I'm saying what I'm about to say, can you type in our little chat where people can go purchase your things? I'm going to put it on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll say my little spiel because I was going to say I'm definitely not on this New Year resolutions. I'm on a life resolution. I'm trying to really get into a healthy state. And so I'm actually about to have a trainer that I start on with Thursday. And
Hey,
so I'm glad you said that, because now I'm gonna go in there and I'm like, look, this is what I want to look like. Show me show me what I need to do, but also with my own body, because it's important. Everyone can't look like Beyonce unless they go get surgery, because surgery can make you like anybody, okay?
and people
But
do.
they do, right?
Right.
But for your body, it's only you only can look what your body is naturally shaped to look like. So keep that in mind, so that people don't have this fictitious idea that, oh, if I go to the gym, 7 days a week, I'm gonna look like this. You're gonna look like what your body's supposed to look like at its best performance and at its maximum,
Yeah.
performance, whatever. So, but yes, okay. So I did get your information, but yes, I am going to definitely purchase, especially the pre-workout. I think that that's going to be a game changer. Because I don't think I get everything I need to get every day. But I do. So this is where you can go, everybody, to purchase any of his products, and I think they're going to work. I think anytime you do something, and it's a supplement, it works. So I want people to support you. I'm going to support
Appreciate it.
you. Like he
Appreciate it.
said, he's a Black-owned business. He's just starting out a little bit, so let's help him out, everybody. Go purchase something. You don't got to purchase everything, but just purchase something that you feel is you can add to your regimen now. Like he said, it will help you get to the physique that you're looking for, whether that's to bulk up or it's to slim down, whichever one you're looking for. And like you said, you take 2 scoops because you're bulking up. Somebody wants them down to take 1 scoop. So whatever, you can take a half a scoop. It's up to you. But I think that supplements are great for you and great for the body. So I'm super excited for you and your business with you and April. Tell I said hello. And
Will do.
is there anything else you want people to know how to follow you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Go
look,
ahead.
connect with me at Instagram CVMK33, and you can follow the business page at CVMK_Global. I will say this, when you're on this journey, and this is my advice for everybody, surround yourself with people who want you to win. What you'll find out is that people want to know, but they're not necessarily happy for your growth, right? And I know we talked about that last time, and that episode is going to air. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be the first Monday in February with Carrie and Rosie. So keep y'all alert when that episode airs. It's going to be amazing. But yeah, in fitness especially, because what takes most people out is not the cost of the gym, because depending on the gym, and I have my preference. Gyms you should look at the certain environments, but most gyms range from $10 a month to $100. Most people aren't paying $100. They probably fall in that 30-40 gap. So it's not a huge expense. So it's not the cost of the gym. It's not even the environment of the gym. It's the environment of your circle and your tribe. If your tribe does not want you to succeed in this, you have to find I don't mean by leave the tribe, but you have to find an ecosystem that people are going to pour into you. Yeah. Because what's going to happen, you'll be consistent for the first week, but week 2 and week 3, and when you're still not at the size dress that you want to be at, or you're not at the jeans, the waistline that you want to be at, that voice in your head is going to tell you to quit, and it's going to tell you to stop. Because you got to understand something. When the body is transforming, one of its mechanisms is inflammation. In other words, you'll actually get worse before you get better. And a lot of people can't get through the worst part, right? They quit when it because it look like I feel bad. I'm invested all this money. Yeah. And nothing's working. But if you can get through it, and I know it's starting to get preachy, but if you can get through the worst part, and you can have people around you that actually want you to win, that actually want you to be at that physique that you see yourself at, that are encouraging you, that are pouring into you. They might look different than you. They might talk different than you. They might not speak in tongues, but God has given everybody a measure of faith. That's what the scripture says. You need to take that and run with it, because it is your life that is on the line. And when it becomes important to you, you won't care. You won't, because I've had to do it. I've had to do it with certain family members. I know what it's like to be at the holiday table and everybody eating all this stuff and they making fun of you. And but I won't get prideful, but I'm like, it is what it is. Right. But at the same time, when I look in the mirror, I'm gonna say it like Bishop Blake. I don't see myself in the future. I see myself now, and I look much better than I did 5 years ago. So that's where you got to get to. That's where you got to get to in your life. That your health, your happiness matters.
Yeah.
Be your own hero.
Love it. That was a great conclusion. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I do need an offer trade. No, I'm just playing. You okay? No, but that was a great conclusion. I'm glad you said that because this is so true. You have to be your own hero. You have to be disciplined. And those holidays will get hard. And especially if you're, like you said, if your ecosystem is different, you live with somebody and they just eating whatever, and you want to eat something special. I've been there. I'm like, oh my God, you get tempted, but you have to look in the mirror, like you said, and be content with what you see. And you won't see what you want to see if you don't do something different. So I appreciate you, Cody. Thank you so much. And everybody for chiming in. And I just hope that everybody go out and support you and purchase something. And if you let me know, you can hit me something. I'm just acting silly. But definitely enjoyed you being on the show. And I'm going to go ahead and close out. Everybody knows how to follow me on Facebook and on YouTube, all at Carrie Jemii. Again, I will be back, not next week, but the 25th. And I think I'm going to be talking about something dealing with sexual health. I'm not 100% sure. I got to make sure I can confirm my guest, but that may be the topic next month. So, next week, on the 25th, I'm just going rambling now. But thank you, everybody, for watching, and everybody have a great night. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.